Yeah, Mark, did it
Yep, sorry.
did it feel like the Spurs kind of got you guys out of their element? I know the shot diet kind of evened out towards the end, but it was leaning more towards the threes than shots in the paint for most of that game.
Yeah, it certainly offensively took us a little while to get a little bit of a rhythm in the game. In terms of balance, to your point, I thought our threes were good in the first half. We didn't shoot it great. I actually thought we had higher quality threes in the first half than we did the rest of the game, but the balance of attacks wasn't great. You know, who knows what that is? It's the first time playing them in 4 months. They're obviously a unique opponent. We just had a while off. I thought we caught a little bit more of a groove to start the second half. We were lucky to be down 7 at halftime, but yeah, I mean, 100%. There's a lot we can improve on.
Mark, how different is it when you're game planning for Victor and how he's going to cover the floor in theory versus actually having to read and react to it in real time?
I think, you know, he's a great player with high impact, obviously. And when you play against those players, it's kind of an acquired thing. You know, you like learn it as you go. We've gone through that with other great players where you develop a feel. You know, you could talk about it as much as you want, but you got to develop a feel for it. I thought we played him in such a condensed period of time. We actually caught a little bit of a groove as we went earlier in the season. We've got to do that again. Obviously, we have to get better from this game, but he's a great player, obviously.
And just with AC, obviously, I imagine San Antonio, part of their game plan is to let him keep shooting. When he gives you what he gave you tonight, he hits almost every shot. What does that sort of feel like, knowing he did everything you could have asked, and San Antonio now gets to watch the tape and see what worked?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game, you know, and he played a great game. You know, if we won that game, made a couple more plays, that would have been one of the stories of the game, is just how he stepped up and made those plays, made those shots, and he's an incredible competitor. But yeah, they were definitely funneling the ball to him early in the game. His shot making kept us in it, you know, while we were trying to find our footing offensively. You know, so we got to get better all the way around with the attacks. You know, like we got to get more balanced. We got to figure it out a little bit. But I think there's room for us to grow in this series for sure.
Yeah, Mark, did you see something in those first 2 minutes? Because you subbed out Isaiah pretty quickly, and then it seemed like he was matched up just when Cornette was on the floor the rest of the game.
Not necessarily in the first couple minutes. I think it was pretty clear that was the plan going in, was to get him staggered pretty quickly, to get Caruso in there pretty quickly. I mean, we kind of predetermined that. I didn't know how quick I would do it. But yeah, I mean, I thought we were like on script pretty good in the first quarter, especially in terms of what we were going to do.
Mark, you know, you mentioned last series, basically Shea's seen everything. How do you think Shea and your team dealt with the extra bodies being sent at him, along with the dynamic of Wemby basically planting himself on the block and in the paint?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to figure that out. You know, like they're good schematically. They obviously have a lot of tools with the point of attack defenders, and with Wembanyama, there's a reason they are where they are. But there's a reason we are where we are, you know, and one of the things that I love about this team is our problem solving. You know, like we've been in these series before. We've hit these types of plateaus. We gave ourselves obviously a chance to win despite that tonight, you know, with our defense and the way that we played. But we got to solve a few problems and be better in game 2.
Mark, just to follow up on that, it seemed like Shea got more aggressive as the game went on. I mean, did you, from your perspective, was that just a feeling out process of how they were playing him and the Spurs defense?
Yeah, I wouldn't put that all on him. I thought we felt it out a little bit too. We figured out some things to get him a little bit more cracks and stuff. That wasn't just all like his temperament, you know. It all works together. And like I said, we got a lot of runway to improve. There's a lot of tangibles from that game that we can look at. And we got to start that process. This is the beginning of the series, not the end.
Hey, Mark, 2 things. First of all, Alex guarding Wemby, obviously huge height disadvantage, but what does he do that makes him effective enough to, I mean, we've seen him guard, obviously, Joker and, you know, LeBron. It doesn't really matter body size, but how is he able to handle him?
I mean, intelligence, first of all, you know, instincts, competitiveness, you know, it starts all there. You know, so he's done a great job on guys like that. We've done a better job on Wembanyama defensively than we did tonight, but like on the net tonight, I thought we defended well enough to win the game. You know, I thought offense was where we can improve from tonight more so than defense. Not that we were perfect down there, and we were a couple plays away. It was a double overtime game, so obviously that was a play or two away from going our way.
What about Jalen coming back from the hammies?
All right, we want to take a look at some of the key stats here. Obviously, Coach Daigneault is saying this team has to get better and problem solve some. One of the numbers that stands out, rebounds, guys, 61-40 in this one. And also you can see, though, the turnovers for the Spurs, 23 with no De'Aaron Fox, but ultimately the Spurs still able to get a win. So the Spurs snapped the streak that OKC was on. They had won 9 straight postseason games. If you go back to last season, during the regular season, they snapped their 16-game winning streak. And now Victor Wembanyama, he's stepping up to the podium to talk about this game 1 win.
Really, the first question is how are you feeling right now, playing nearly 50 minutes, double overtime, game 1, Western Conference Finals, and then winning the game in that manner? What is the overriding emotion that you have right now?
I feel like it was a great effort from everybody, 1 to 15. Physically, I'm feeling tired, honestly, but not as much as you would expect, honestly. It's probably the adrenaline. It's going to come down a little bit. I'm probably going to sleep pretty well tonight.
Victor, I heard you tell the TV broadcast that it felt at times like you weren't thinking during that late part of the game. Can you kind of expand on that, your mentality, and also the pull-up three-pointer that you hit with 30 seconds left? What were you thinking for that one?
For that one, I was just thinking, take my time. But for the rest, there are some plays I wish I were thinking more. Like I think it was the regulation last shot. I had an open look, on a way smaller defender, so I should have just taken it. But it's an experience we learn,
Mitch was saying that it's a pretty natural response for a competitor to see another competitor get something that he wants, whether it's the MVP trophy or whatever it might be. Just curious if that was in your mind at all, knowing that Shea had got that award and you were in the top 3 for it. And, did any part of tonight feel personal? Some of your facial expressions kind of look like you were really, really going for it.
Yeah, for sure. Everything you just said.
What does it feel like to see someone else get the MVP trophy right before you step into, I guess, what is basically the biggest game of your career, and then to have the best performance of your career?
Feels like I still got a lot to learn. And I want to get that trophy, many times in my career.
We talked a lot about winning an MVP and what goes behind it, whether it's political, things of that nature. Do you feel like, especially after this game, that you're the best player in basketball?
Do I feel like it right now? I feel tired. But it's not a question I'm wondering right now. We'll see, The world is 8 billion people, so it's 8 billion opinions.
Victor, tonight almost felt a little bit symbolic, the MVP ceremony for SGA before the game, and then you have a big response tonight with your performance. If your performance tonight had a message behind it, what would that message be?
The message would be that we as a team are ready to go in any environment, in any place, against anybody. And even though we still got a lot to learn, our effort should be over anybody else's. And tonight we were relentless.
Relentless is the word that we're going to use for the performance that we saw from Victor Wembanyama. 3 blocks in this one, 41 points, over 20 boards. They get the victory 122-115 in a double overtime. Yeah, you can stand and pose and take it all in, Wemby.